You want details? Let's dive in. So let's get right into it, man. I did a post about it was pretty much my theory on why I feel like barbers don't support each other within the same city. And I gave 3 reasons why I felt like that was. So I'm gonna just read what my estimate of how I feel about that goes. So first of all, the first thing I said was it's the safest. And if I could read what I actually wrote down, I said it's a non-threatening approach to the ego, and there's less of a chance of losing a client to an out-of-town barber. So, I mean, and like I really do feel that way. I feel like when you get to a certain point in your barber career, I think it's barbers feel like they have to, like they're competing with you. So in my case, I cut a lot of barbers in my career. And for the most part, I know when they come in, especially when they young and they up and coming and they just getting inserted to the business, they come to me for haircuts, but it's also so they could try to pick my brain and try to see what they could find out, see what type of tools I'm using, techniques, and all of that. I'm all good with that. I promise you, I don't take no issue whatsoever with that because I'm always willing to help people and help young and up and coming barbers or any barber for that matter to get better and to be better in this business and see how they can expand on their career. But I also know, and I know this to be true, at a certain point, they're gonna stop coming to you because at a certain point in their career or wherever they at, wherever they feel like they stand, they feel like they ain't gonna be able to come to you no more. They feel like coming to you is maybe them fearing that you look at them as less than, or it could be a self thing, or maybe it's just within they self, they feel like I don't need to be trying to peep what he doing no more from a close distance. Now they would rather watch you from afar. And that's when I feel like it's crazy. So that's why I feel like when these shows come in town and these barbers do these shows in town, like they quick to try to go get what they feel like they could get from them, knowing full well that it's barbers within the city who could offer them the same thing that they seeking at these shows, but they can't come to you like that for fear of it being a competition thing. And that was just my first initial response. So that's why I said I think it's more of a non-threatening approach to the ego for them to link more with barbers outside of the city rather than inside. My second theory was the overshadow status. And what I said was, what I see is barbers not wanting to link with barbers in the city for fear of that barber gaining an edge in social status, which only means you feel like you're either on a level or you just know deep down you ain't like that. And that wasn't to be, that wasn't me trying to be harsh or me trying to poke my chest out or act like I'm better than, somebody else. But we all know how this social media thing go. At a certain point, everybody want to feel like, they got something to say and they have something to offer. And lo and behold, if you get more attention than a certain barber does, if it's a barber who generally has an ego, he gonna feel some type of way. I seen it, man, plenty times. Not just here in Dallas, but also back in Chicago, where I'm from. Competition is nothing new to me. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up in a city like Chicago, it's always competition. We always competing because that's the type of city we are. You know what I'm saying? Like it's very cutthroat, so to speak. Now, I ain't trying to bash my city, man. I love my city with all my heart. I got one of those love hate relationships with Chicago. I love it so much, but it's a lot of stuff that I hate about it. And the cutthroat aspect of the city of Chicago is one of those things. But anyway, we in this social media age and everybody jockeying for position. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to get seen and they trying to get noticed and they trying to get recognized. So I think in some ways it's okay to compete. I say this all the time. Like there's nothing wrong with competing if it's coming from a place of just wanting to be better and helping somebody else to get better. But when it comes from a negative, when it got such a negative aspect behind it, that's when it becomes a problem and become less about the art and the craft, and it becomes more about how can I take away from this barber. I need to get in his spotlight or jump in his bubble. That's the reason I said that it's possibly due to the fact of being overshadowed by a barber who is perceived to be better skill wise, or if it's not skill wise, more of a people person, or just whatever you feel like another barber has an edge over you. So in order for you not to feel that way, you rather link with barbers outside of the city rather than in. And lastly, I said it's about the namesake. So I said I believe people think the more popular a particular barber is, that they automatically crack the code on the business and have more to offer, not knowing or understanding that social media is primarily based on visible presentation and perception. Having skill and knowledge is attainable to everybody, so don't overlook the ones who got it that's already in your city. Now, when these shows come to it, and I'm not knocking no barber from nowhere else. I rock with barbers outside of the city too. So I'm not saying this as, you know, I'm not I'm hoping, and I'm really hoping that this is not being perceived as me being a hater, because I don't have no hate in my heart about nobody, no barber, because I'm secure with who I am and where I stand in the business. So what I'm really doing is hoping that I'm speaking to help somebody and to help them shake the stigma of only feeling like they could work with barbers outside of the city when we have ones that's right here. So what I'm saying about the namesake is, now just like any industry, it's you do have barber groupies. Hey, and most of them be barbers themselves. So trying to attach themselves with a particular barber because he has a name, and he's known for, he or she is known for cutting such and such, or they feel like they have something to gain by being attached to a particular barber because they have a name, so to speak. But I just feel like that's a slap in the face to the industry overall, because you don't know what that barber done to get where they are now. I could see you wanting to be mentored by a barber to try to reach their status. If you just trying to attach yourself to them for namesake and just to be reposting them, think about it like this. When these barbers go to these cities and they go from city to city doing these shows, you know, they taking pictures with a lot of people, and you're going to tag them, and they may even repost the picture or the video that you tagged them in, but then it's on to the next. Like, if you, only way I see that being something that is beneficial for each party is if you building a relationship and not just trying to gain clout off of their popularity. I think that's whack, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like in my heart of hearts, you, we, me, we are better than that. You know what I'm saying? We could make our own lane here, and we could be those guys and those ladies that people go to and that they seek out, do these shows like on a broader perspective. So don't overlook the potential that you have to connect with barbers that's already in your city because they're less popular. If we come together and we create these shows, and man, I take my hats off. It's a lot of people out here in Dallas, in the state of Texas, period, that's doing a lot of things, a lot of big things that I feel like could be a whole lot better if we all just link up and we do this the way that we can to make Dallas pop, so you don't have to be looking outside of the city to try to connect with these barbers for their name. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. Like I said, I hope don't nobody take this the wrong way as me being a hater or something like that. When I speak, whether in person or through this, my thing is about pushing positivity and try to share some light and, you know, get you to think outside of the box. So I hope you was able to take something away from this. I hope you got a clear understanding of what I was trying to say and the message that I was trying to convey. And, you know, if you want to chat about it, leave a message, drop a comment below, like, subscribe, share, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. This what they want, huh? This what they want, huh? I'm gonna be the one to give it to them.